back, my dear friends. My name is Emmy and this is the channel Frugal Money Saver. Paul and I, my husband, are an early retirement debt-free couple living in the state of New York, and our channel is basically about living a more abundant life with less money. And today's video, we're going to show you how to do just that. I went through more of the tips that you all sent in from the last couple of videos, and I have 15 more great tips and hints to save you money. We also have, hands down, I think, my new favorite cookie recipe I've ever tasted in my life. It is a double chocolate brownie cookie. It takes about a minute to make, literally, and it is so delicious. Wait till you see Paul's reaction when he tastes it. And I'm also going to share with you one of my absolute favorite vintage cookbooks. So if this sounds good to you, please sit back, relax, grab a cup of tea or coffee, and let's get to this. First, we're going to start with the 15 tips and hints that you all sent in to Paul and I on how you save money. And we did this a couple of videos ago and you guys really loved it. And more came in, and I still haven't even gotten to all of them. But I do have 15 more, so let's get right to it. Someone in one of the other comments said, a great way to save money is not to bring snack foods into the house. And while I can agree with that, once in a while, it's nice to have a little treat. And one of our viewers, tip number 1, said what they do one night a week, Sunday, is have a movie popcorn night. And what they'll do is watch a favorite movie that they rent from the library or maybe is on TV. They have a soda, and what they do is sprinkle in a little bit of flavored potato chips with the popcorn, and that gives the popcorn great taste, and they have a wonderful treat night. And we have to remember that being frugal isn't always about deprivation, and this is a perfect example how just a few little treats that cost barely anything can make a Sunday night super special. So I thought this one was really good. Number 2, when you have to bread meat or chicken, whatever it may be that needs breading, instead of putting the flour into a plate and then ending up having to waste it because it cross-contaminates with the chicken or the raw meat, what you do is sift flour right onto the pieces of meat you need to flour. And I think this is perfect. Just don't touch the meat with your hands and then touch the flour. Whatever you need to bread, and just sift it over top, much less waste, and flip it with a fork and do the other side. And you know how much flour you're going to save? I know personally, I throw out flour after I bread meat or chicken all the time. This is a great way to save flour, save money, and not waste food. Number 3, if you need to give a all-occasion gift to someone, this would even make a lovely wedding gift, engagement gift, birthday gift. Take a pretty box and fill it with all-occasion greeting cards, a nice pen set, and some stamps. I would love to get a gift like that. You can even do this with thank you notes. If someone is having a baby shower or a wedding shower, put in some thank you notes so that they can just send a thank you note out with a stamp and it won't cost them anything. So great tip. Number 4, if you are going to buy something on sale or clearance, ask yourself, why are you buying this item? Is it because it is on clearance or because you really need it? That's a great one, because so many times we see something on clearance and we see a big for sale sign and right away we think we need it. Not always the case. Just because something is on clearance, make sure you really need it before you buy it. Number 5, if you have leftover vegetables from dinner, take a clean plastic container, put it in the freezer, and every time you have leftover vegetables after your dinner or lunches, pop it into that plastic container in the freezer, whether it be corn or peas, string beans, whatever it is. And then once you're ready to make a pot pie or maybe a vegetable soup, all those vegetables can go right into there and nothing got wasted. Number 6, for those of you who use clothes dryers, make sure you shake your clothes out before you put them in a dryer. They dry so much quicker that way. A lot of times we just grab the clothes from the washer, throw them right into the dryer in a big ball, and it takes a long time for them to dry. Give them a good shake before you put them in the dryer and you will cut down on your drying time. Number 7, when 5-pound bags of potatoes are on sale, one viewer said what they do is make mashed potatoes out of the whole 5 pounds. And I know Paul and I have done this before we've left for vacation. We didn't want the potatoes to spoil, so we made a giant batch of mashed potatoes. And that's exactly what this viewer is saying to do. You eat some of the potatoes that evening, and then the rest of the potatoes freeze in Ziploc bags, and when you're ready to use them, reheat them gently. They will come out wonderfully. Just make sure though, the recipe you use to make the mashed potatoes contains some fat, either butter or sour cream, something that has fat in it, because when you reheat them, to keep it from separating, that fat will really help. Number 8, one viewer said to eat on smaller plates, which psychologically I think would be really good because you will be eating smaller portion sizes and adequate portion sizes than filling up the whole plate, and then that ensues leftovers, which is always a good thing. Number 9, common sense, but a great tip. Avoid debt. When you pay interest on any kind of debt, whether it be credit card, car loan, anything like that, all you're basically doing is paying the bank income. You're paying the bank. So if you can avoid debt at all costs, common sense, that would be the way to go. Number 10, I have never thought of this and I don't know why, but this viewer said she takes her kitchen sponge and she cuts it in quarters. Instead of using the whole sponge, she cuts it in quarters and she gets 4 sponges out of 1. And I think this would be a great idea. I would almost do mine in half, I think. But either way, what a great idea to make a kitchen sponge stretch further. Thank you. Number 11. This one we have talked about so many times, but as one reader said, before you buy anything, determine whether it is a true need or a want. Perfectly said. Make sure you need the item and you just don't want the item. Perfect way to save money. Number 12, one viewer said, plan ahead, that she lives on a fixed income and this helps greatly. She plans ahead by preparing for the unknowns, building a pantry, saving for yearly expenses. So important that we plan ahead. Having a little bit of money put away for unexpected expenses. Very, very important. So always plan ahead. Number 13, another great tip, use a small rubber spatula to get every drop of food out of a container, whether it be a can of soup, a jar of mayonnaise, a prepared cake mix, a muffin mix, whatever it may be, use a spatula to get everything out. It may even make you an extra cupcake. It can make an extra slice of cake when you're making a cake. So don't take that bowl and put it in the dishwater yet until you've scraped everything out of it. No food is going to waste. Number 14, for those of you who dry clothes in your dryer, here's another tip. Cut your dryer sheets into thirds. So you get 3 dryer sheets out of 1 and then reuse each one twice. So you're actually getting 6 dryer sheets out of 1 because you're using each one twice after you cut it into thirds. My mom used to keep the same dryer sheet in there for like 4 loads. She lived by herself and the loads weren't very big. They always came out with no static and smelling fresh So it really does work. You can definitely get more than one use out of that dryer sheet. And the last one, number 15, I thought this was very smart, and I'm going to read this one to you. My best frugal tip is using a sandwich bag to put into my measuring cups. If you're measuring Crisco or butter for a recipe, I just put the sandwich bag in the cup and add the ingredient. I just take the bag out, dump it into the mixing bowl, then I use the bag to grease the pan. What a great idea. You guys are so smart. These were so incredible again. Thank you for sharing these, and I'm so happy that I'm able to share them with you. But these are another 15 great frugal hints and tips to get a little bit more money in our pocket, waste a little less food, be a good steward of our money pretty much all the way around. Now I am going to share with you the most amazing, and I know I say that a lot, but these cookies are really phenomenal. So easy, frugal, and actually company worthy. That's how good they are. So here's the recipe. Today I am going to show you how to take a regular 18-ounce box of brownie mix and make some of the most delicious cookies you have ever tasted. All you're going to need is one box of 18-ounce brownie mix. I'm just using Pillsbury. Mine's a little over 18 ounces, but that's fine. You're going to need 2 eggs. You're going to need about a half a cup of chocolate chips. I'm using the minis. And then about 3/4 cup of walnuts. And again, you don't even have to add these add-ins of the chocolate chips and the walnuts, but it does take it to the next level. And then in this little bowl, I have 5 tablespoons of vegetable oil. We're also going to be adding 1 tablespoon of water to this. I'm going to show you how easy this is. The results are over the top yummy. What I love about this recipe is when brownie mixes go on sale, you can get them well under $1. And they are so versatile for so many things, not only for our brownies, but for something like these cookies as well. So I've got the brownie mix. I'm going to add my 2 eggs. And another reason I love this, everything is in one bowl, and you can't get simpler than that, right? We're going to add our 5 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Going to add a half a cup of chocolate chips and a little over half a cup of walnuts because we love walnuts. And what I do with the walnuts is I just put them in a little plastic baggie and I roll my rolling pin over them and it just crushes them a little bit. So you're not getting a giant walnut in each bite. And I'm also adding the 1 tablespoon of water. That is it. I am going to put my paddle attachment onto my mixer, but you can just mix it with whatever you have. And we're going to just mix it till it's incorporated. So I mixed this for maybe 30 seconds. It is a very sticky and thick batter, and that's what makes these cookies so rich and delicious. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees. And what I'm going to do is just put these on either parchment paper or your silicone baking mat. And we're just going to make them, with about a tablespoon of batter. And that's all there is to it. How easy are these cookies? Wait till you taste them. Oh my goodness. Cookies are done, and I am going to put them in a 350 oven, and I will check them after 8 minutes. These cooked at 350 for 9 minutes. And what you want to look for on these cookies is that the gloss is gone from the top of the cookie, but can you see how you still can see a little bit of the dark chocolate running through it in the cracks? That is fine, but that glossiness, that means the cookie is not done, is gone off of these. So they look perfect. Check them at 8, and then I put them in for 1 more minute. You don't want to overcook these or they will get hard. Let the cookies cool on the tray for about 2 minutes. Then we transfer them to a wire rack to cool completely. Now, Paul is going to taste one. So go ahead.
This is the best part of the job. Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah, this is really good. Really good. I never thought a brownie could make a cookie. And the taste, it's chewy, it's moist, but it's also got a nice crisp cookie flavor, you know, the cookie crisp to it.
Right, right.
The nuts in there, no, this is good. This is better than any store-bought brand I know of. This is really nice. The kids will love it. Your husband will love it. You're going to love it. I know I do.
It's that good.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you.
So this is a win-win. Definitely try this recipe. Obviously, if Paul's this animated, it must be that good.
It's delicious.
You all know how much I love anything vintage when it comes to cookbooks or bakeware or dinnerware. Love the 50s, love the 40s, even the early 60s. And today I want to share with you a 1959 Better Homes and Gardens holiday cookbook. It's one of my most treasured. I am going to give you a little tip before I show you the cookbook. When we use older cookbooks, the food safety measures are not the same as our modern food safety measures. If and when you prepare recipes from an older cookbook, always follow our modern food prep and storage safety methods. Let's take a peek at this book. So here is this precious cookbook. I found it at a garage sale several years ago. I think I paid 50 cents for it. It was in a bin and I just grabbed it. I could tell right away, just looking at the cover, how much I was going to love this. And the copyright date is 1959. Look at these pictures. Look at the colors. It says grand finale for a circus birthday party. Mint balloon cake, pink ice cream, circus cocoa, float tiny colored marshmallows atop. Toy clown offers each guest a take-home balloon. How simple and precious was this? We have come so far in children's birthday parties. They're over the top now. There's definitely got to be something to be said about having this simplicity in our lives. And all the holidays, they've got New Year's, Valentine's Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving, all of them. And then you have your special occasions, coffee, teas, birthdays and anniversaries. Just precious. Here we go. Easter. Look at the breads. Hopping bunnies. Oh my goodness. Just so precious. Halloween. And at the start of each holiday, it gives you little tips. So how to do different carvings of pumpkins. Look at the treats, donuts and cider and special cake. Oh my goodness, such a simpler time. Look at Christmas. This type of picture reminds me when people would gather and it wasn't about how big and elaborate things could be, but just how simple and well done. And again, you have your hints. Give salads a gala look. Popcorn Christmas trees. Trim your Yule table. Look at the desserts. I mean, why bother putting candles on top of the cake? Just stick it in the middle. I mean, I don't know how safe that is, but wow, it looks delicious. And then the anniversary buffet. Look at the pinks and these little coconut ice cream balls and sherbet and finger sandwiches. And then a whole section on how to set a table appropriately, how to set a buffet. Just such a beautiful cookbook. And the recipes are elegant and it's just wonderful. I wanted to share that with you because nowadays we are in such a hurry and in such a rush. How special was that cookbook? It just makes me yearn for simpler times. We are so busy, always trying to outdo and bigger and better, and sometimes just things that come from the heart, simple, meaningful, slower times are something that we can strive to embrace, bring back into our lives just a little bit. I know how you all enjoy seeing some of my collection. I wanted to share this with you because this is one of my favorites. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I packed a lot in it, but again, there's so many things that I want to share with you that will help you to save money, live a more intentional life, be conscious of how blessed we really are. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And by all means, stay well, stay healthy. You know how much we love you and how much you mean to us. And by all means, remember, we wish you blessings. Have a beautiful week until our next video. It is a very sticky, thick. It is a very sticky and thick. It is a very sticky and thick. Oh my gosh! One more, Emmy, come on.